Do you ever wonder what is out there? The unknown, the anomalous. The secretive SCP Foundation is set on discovering and keeping creatures hidden away from our world. While their efforts have fallen short before, containing SCPs has clearly become easier as the decades have passed. Where some anomalous entities are unable to be contained, others difficult but not impossible, SCP-403 is as simple a containment job as they come. The ever-iconic SCP-682 needs a sizable cell filled with enough acid to keep him settled down. 403 needs only a simple safe in combination. This is not a normal lighter, however, dear viewer. No, it is an escalating one. 403, while not as popular as its Series 1 colleagues like 173, 096, or even SCP-001, the Gate Guardian, it still packs some serious heat. While its first ignition is only as intense as a regular lighter, as its name entails, things only get better. A third ignition was described as an explosion of superheated gas and plasma that destroyed monitoring equipment and caused significant damage to the flame-resistant plating. The fourth click was worth 10 megatons of TNT, over 470 times the power of the Fat Man bomb released onto Japan during World War II. As for the fifth click, the log reads as follows: could result in an event comparable to a blast could devastate vast portions of the continent. Clearly, this SCP has proven to be an ever-growing threat, as with every click, it creates more and more irreparable damage. Now, you might be thinking that even if some criminal were to get his hands on this, it would be irrelevant, as the blast would kill him by even the third ignition. But that's where you'd be wrong. See, when the lighter is ignited, a magnetic field is formed, granting the lighter and its user immunity from the effects. But just how powerful can this baby get? Well, that's what we intend to find out today. Considering how both its name and its actions demonstrate an escalating increase, we can assume that it functions exponentially as well. In order to see how high we can get it, we first need to find out what the multiplier is for every click. Now, we don't have a set number value for the third or fifth click, but we do have one for the fourth. Now, with that, we need to find a multiplier that gets us in a range close to the descriptions, and the one I found to work best is 259,800,000. Working backwards to the third click gives us a value of 0.0384 tons of TNT, and going forwards gives us a value of 2.598 petatons of TNT. I often use Versus Battle Wiki for a reference as to how powerful certain characters are, more specifically their attack potency page. So using that multiplier, we find ourselves with a third ignition click at what you consider small building level, and a fifth ignition click having a value at half continental power. Now, you might say that this is bogus, considering how the third ignition only wrecked an experiment room, but consider how many sites have metal walls throughout its entire building, and the fact that significant damage was caused to the flame-resistant plating. So a small building blast that wrecks an SCP Foundation flame-retarding room doesn't exactly seem all that out there. Plus, seeing as the file for the lighter says a fifth ignition would devastate, quote, vast portions of the continent, a blast worth half of what it takes to light up a whole continent similarly doesn't sound too far out there. With that in mind, using this multiplier, let's see just how powerful this lighter can get. A sixth ignition would have a value of 674 zetatons of TNT, and would be enough to destroy half of our cutie Earth Earth. With a ninth ignition, we now have brought an end to multiple solar systems like our own. Another click has a blast capable of wrecking half a galaxy, with the 11th click having a value comparable to low multi-galaxy level. If we were to click the lighter a dozen times in the row, we would have a blast at mid-multi-galaxy level. And finally, the lucky 13th click. In the face of 13 continuous ignitions, we would have brought complete havoc to just about all of our universe. Which is just, wow. But yeah, that's about it. I know this was a short video, but I really wanted to talk about this SCP. I think it's awesome when lesser known SCPs are just as powerful as the big Series 1 boys, and if you guys want, I'd happily do more of these one-off videos talking about the more unique and lesser followed SCPs. Other than that, I want to thank you all, and hope you enjoyed your stay here at Honors Place. If you want more SCP content, you can click on the video for my SCP-1 The Gate Guardian video, or watch my collab with Mr. Versus, where we talk about how Ryan Reynolds' Green Lantern would have held up against the infamous DCEU Justice League. But outside of those, yeah, bye-bye.